another tantalizing Tuesday with Ask Marie with the Chronicles of Chocolate Syrup. This is Shanika Marie and Misty Buchanan is in the building. My favorite is, I made that word up. Co-host Honeys. Yes, welcome. What's up, sis?
Hey, sis.
Wow. So listen, let's talk about this Corona thing. Last week, we actually discussed, things to do in the house. And just kind of embrace and love on our loved ones. What is your thoughts about that? I just wanted to know, because you always be dropping the jewels, honey.
Being in the house, well, I've been in the house because I don't work a 9 to 5 anymore. But being in the house and in a different light, meaning, because we are quarantined, it feels different.
Yeah.
I'm in the house now and my daughter's in the house. Right. All day long with me. And it just feels, I don't know, there's a peace in the atmosphere.
Right.
And it's really allowing me to think about what tomorrow is going to be like.
Wow.
What do I want my future to be?
Okay, so right there. And that's why this week we are talking about what? Starting over. Yes. Beginning again. New. Yes. And what I like to think about it, I just knew that it was going to be a great intro. I didn't know what you was going to say, but it just felt good. Okay. I know she's going to drop something that's going to segue so we talk about this week. And because I think me and you actually talked about that, about how this time is a beginning and the foundational to kind of start again. A lot of people had lost their jobs. A lot of people are finding out things about themselves, their mates, their family, that make them want to have to step back and start anew. And what I like to think of is basically getting into alignment and really just following the path that we need to take.
It's almost like we are forced to go back to the basics.
Right now. Come on now.
Back to the basics. Absolutely. So we can build again. And in building again, what you had, you may not want anymore.
Ooh, wait a minute. Or what you thought you wanted.
Right. You don't want it.
You don't want it. Like, no, I really don't think I want that. I don't.
Because we're forced to be still and think and listen. And that's the thing. We're forced to listen. Because when you're out going back and forth, going to work, rushing in the morning, trying to get to work on time and trying to get your kids to school on time, you don't have time to think.
I agree.
You don't have time to think.
You don't.
Even when you go to on your lunch break, you don't have time to think because all you're thinking about is getting your food done and getting back on the clock. Absolutely. Now we have so much time. Yes.
Breathe and take
and people are complaining about not working. They are complaining about not having like a consistent income. But I think secretly they are relieved.
I know I am. I am happy that I have had, even before this, I had a couple weeks of just kind of just downtime and just understanding what step I'm supposed to take next and just trying to, just figuring it out and understanding that it's okay to sit and breathe and really start anew, begin fresh.
And I'm happy for you because you are busy bee. Y'all, for those who already know her, she's always everywhere all the time. So I am glad she was forced to slow down and rest and rejuvenate herself.
I had so much stuff that was going on and I really try to do, the best that I can. And so with this new start, I really think it has really allowed me to kind of pinpoint, even today, where I'm at. I'm constantly trying to restart because I'm really trying to go about my next adventure in the right way and kind of lay it brick by brick. Yes, honey. I was. And it's interesting. I have a new kind of companion. He was like, well, are you going to be available? I said, listen, during this quarantine, honey, you lucky. Because if it wasn't, I would have plenty of places to go and things to do, and that's important for me, and so it might change a little bit, but hopefully it's going to be towards, people coming into my spot and for meditation classes and doing other things like that, trying to have a wholeness within. So I'm trying to set that up. So I'm still busy now. But what's interesting is that I find myself more busy now, I guess, doing research on different things, and I'm looking at different ways that I can start anew. And I know, man, you were discussing like, don't change the wheel. What did you tell me?
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Right. Just kind of just do your own thing. But if something is working, kind of this
follow the blueprint.
Okay, and so that's what I've been trying to do. So I've been looking at so many YouTube videos and so many different avenues of things that people are doing, that I'm doing, and where I'm beginning to kind of open it up. I've been doing it, but I'm just trying to figure out a way. I don't want to say market myself, just make myself available to people to see who I am.
Right.
Because I don't want to have no kind of like marketing type of it's I know certain things have to go into marketing so people can see you, but I don't want to seem selling
commercial,
right? Because that's not me,
right?
I'm a home girl down, but anyway, yes, honeys, my chocolate first family. Listen, this is, we all starting anew in different ways, and then in different environments, and just hopefully within ourselves. I hope this time, and even I know I talk to some people that are still working.
Yes.
And even
essential workers.
Yes. And even they have seen the shift in the climate. And then I was talking to somebody else. He was like, well, it's not really a big difference to me. I said, besides all the masks when I go to the grocery store. I was like, whatever, you see a difference. And then he was like, he did see a difference in how people respond.
Right.
And
react. No one's really talking to each other. And,
Yeah.
Even when I go to the grocery store, I like to be welcoming and smile at people. So, maybe every 3 people, or if I see someone and I feel kind of drawn to them, I'll smile and speak.
Wow.
And they'll speak back. Okay. And typically it's like older people. Because, I want the world to still be as it was, but it's just not right now.
It's not.
It's not.
No matter what we do. And what I think it's going to be a good purge.
I do too.
I think it's going to be a good purge, and the people that's supposed to be entrepreneurs are going to kind of
they're coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
They're stepping out on faith and just making it happen.
Yes, and knowing that did this happen for a reason? This happened because I'm supposed to be aligned with something new and different. Right. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm excited about it.
I'm truly excited. And so, I know we hadn't talked about your book in a minute. I know this whole quarantine thing. How do you think that's going to affect that?
Well, I'm trying to stay on top of it, but not rush things, manage my money properly. But I did speak to someone to do the book cover.
Okay.
And I gave him my vision, because I kind of had, like, in the beginning of the book, when I first wrote it, I had a vision of what I wanted the book cover to look like. But since, time has progressed, things have changed, and I was asking my daughter, because I always go to her first, like, what do you think? And she gave me an idea like a while ago, and we never wrote it down. So I went back to her, and I guess she was in one of her teenage moods. She was like, I don't know. And I said, you know what? Never mind. I'll pray about it. Okay. It'll come to me. Okay. So that very same morning, I went downstairs in the kitchen, and I was, having my prayer and meditation time and singing. And
it just dropped in your spirit.
It just dropped in my spirit.
I love when that happens.
And I wrote it down. I typed it in my phone.
Oh, that's so amazing.
And then I emailed him and gave it to him, and he got back with me. So
I love when that happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So. He said he got back with you?
He got back with me, stating that he can do it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of me, paying the fee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's exciting. Some things are coming, some things are coming.
And I looked at his work. He does very, very good work. So.
Okay. And that's even, when we kind of take our times, what is supposed to come to us will come. I know a lot of times we rush and it feels right. But even with those things that we rush, and, there's always a lesson learned.
Right.
Don't rush.
Yeah. You're right about that. Sometimes you can rush and put things backwards.
And deposit money where it don't supposed to go.
Yeah.
And that's okay too. And that's okay too.
Yeah, I've done that a lot.
Yes, and I think it's listening to red flags the first time. Because you know that me and you both went through a situation where I was getting my website built prior, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, and we seen red flags within the first few weeks, and we should just stop then.
Yeah.
And so, but let's learn.
Yeah.
Let's learn. And so I guess
you were a little bit nicer about it than I was.
Yeah. It's my sister's stern, y'all. Like, she don't play
it
no
was
games.
disturbing my spirit.
It was, and I'm very laid back, and I think a lot of times people have a misconception of who and what people are, and I got you though. I got you. Yes, like okay, how we feeling? Okay, fine. The first time it's like, oh girl, go ahead and call them and just be like, no, we can't even do what you're trying to do because it's hurting our heart, and so we can't even do it, And I just try to give people chances. I really do, and I kept praying on it. But what's going to manifest is that somebody's going to give me a chance. And they're going to give me, a couple chances.
Right.
And that's what I'm knowing.
Yeah.
And I'm really going to try to put forth an effort. And hopefully I can be honest with what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go, and not kind of do what the individual did.
Right.
Because, I just felt like it was like very disrespectful to my brand and what I was trying to do. And that's okay.
But I do want to say this, a lot of times we, pray about something, should we take this direction? And we get confirmation that we should take that direction. But in the midst of doing so, things can kind of go left field. It doesn't mean that you didn't hear God speak.
Right.
Or you didn't hear the answer. Things may be going on with that person.
They could have been the right individual.
It could have been the right individual.
And with that being said, it's time for a commercial. We're going to come back and we're going to talk more in depth about this and kind of talk about some things we can do to kind of go in directions to start anew. Yeah. To align. Right. And all that good stuff. Okay. Right? This is 72.9 The Voice. Your girl Shanique Marie and Misty
Buchanan
is in the building. We love you. We'll be back. Peace.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Yeah. I got here now. I figured you out. You got my attention, babe. And now I know how. 'Cause the moon don't shine like that on its own. Breeze outside you, right in your zone. You got tonight, but you act like you don't. Just so you know, I want to you. You're something else. You know what you do. And I'll play right along. Just like a fool. Just to feel the way that you hold me close. It feel like 98, nice and slow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. At this point, I can't let go. I still think you should know. I want to you. On to you. Yeah, 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 yeah. On to you. You, baby, yeah. On to you, yeah. Yeah, yeah. On to you, every move, I'm on to you, baby. Tell me what you want in there. I'ma make you feel alright. Got me where you want me at. I'ma make you feel alright, right. Tell me what you want in there. I'ma make you feel alright. Got me where you want me at. I'ma make you feel alright, right. I got it now. I'm onto you, onto you, tell me what you want in that. I'ma make you feel alright. Tell me what you want and I'll make it up. Got me where you want me at. I'ma make you feel alright, right.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yes, welcome back to 2.9 The Void. Shanique Marie and Missy Buchanan is in the
Building.
Yes.
What's up, people?
What's up, and welcome. Okay, so you were talking about how, so what I got from that is basically being able to listen.
Right.
And kind of go in a direction where you feel that you're led.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, you were mentioning the fact that just because something didn't go the way that you thought it was supposed to go, don't mean that that wasn't the way you're supposed to go.
Right.
There's always a lesson to be learned, because in the future, I feel like I could have potentially, instead of, dropping a couple thousand, a few thousand, it would be like a few thousand, like a whole lot more money. And kind of just paying more attention to kind of cutting stuff off and kind of it's all about business.
Right, speaking up for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
And even if you like somebody, but they're not giving you the business that you think that you deserve, then you still have to kind of transition yourself and move away from that individual.
Right.
Simple.
Yeah, that's right.
But with that being said, I know we're going to talk about starting new and things that we can do to kind of start that. Yeah. And let's talk about the things that make us kind of start anew. People typically think that when they hit rock bottom. Like, oh my God, this is just, and like you were just saying, like the people were upset that they don't have these, have their jobs anymore. Yeah. And some people are happy they're at home, but like a lot of the people that have lost their jobs, they're gonna have to start anew. Right. Like we were saying, a lot of people that have been at home with their spouses, and they're like, we gotta do something different. Right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people out here eating all this food at the house and drinking too much wine. Hold on. Gonna have to start anew. Yeah. As she sipped the wine. Like, maybe I'm doing too much. But with rock bottom, I see rock bottom as actually being an eye-opener. I see rock bottom. It's really not rock bottom. Everything I definitely know is about perception and how we see things and how we respond. I know a long time ago when I used to hear it's really not what happened. It's 90% about how you respond and only 10% about what actually happened.
Right.
And what's interesting is I was talking to one of my, I always had this conversation because I have such stimulating people in my life. Yes. Absolutely. But I was having a conversation and he was like, I was talking to one of my people. He was saying, he talking to somebody that had the same thing happen to them that has happened to me. And the way they responded has been totally different than how I responded. He was saying she was complaining and she was getting depressed. And see, you out here calling people. I mean, you out here, making up game plans and goals and a business plan. I was like, absolutely. I was like, because I think things happen because they're supposed to happen that way. And when you really, really have faith and really understand and know that you have a bigger purpose, then you can kind of shift gears into the direction that you feel you're supposed to be going with a lot of prayer, meditation, and listening.
Right.
And so rock bottom, I feel is just like it's like a stopping point. When you hit that place where, okay, I'm not letting you sink any further. So that's the rock, because a rock is not going to let you sink in any. It's like having when they said that you have a ceiling, when you reach that ceiling, when you hit rock bottom, that's just to say that you're not going no further. I'm not going to allow you to go further because you're not happy, because you're supposed to be doing something different, because you haven't been listening. So this is just it's stopping right here, and so that's what the rock means. For me, what is your opinion?
That's a good analogy. I like that, and that is so true because this is what I don't get. We pray about things.
All right.
We ask for things.
Okay.
We cry and beg God for the things that we
As soon as this shit, what happened?
Then as soon as that window opened, and he's ready to pour all of this into you.
Okay.
You don't know what to do.
And you get nervous.
You get nervous.
Honey.
So for some people, with the job layoff, because I'm believing that people haven't lost their jobs. Some people will be able to go back to their jobs. But for those who have been praying for something different,
okay, come on now.
For those who have been praying for an outlet, I want to start my own business, whatever. This is your opportunity now to get it on and popping.
How about it?
This is your time.
Like the popcorn.
This is your time. Don't get pulled into all those people out here who are complaining, who are saying that the world is coming to an end, although, the signs are showing a whole lot of things.
Interesting stuff.
Right. But I see it as more so a purge.
And a shift.
Right.
Absolutely.
And a shift. That's what it does. I mean, that's just how life it is. That's just how
the ins and out. And if it's showing your personal life, it's going to show right
in the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
So use this time to do everything that you said you wanted to do. You said you wanted to write a book. Hey, you at home, write that book. Okay. The internet is still working. Okay. Do your research. Okay. Write your book. Okay.
And speaking of books. Okay. What's the name of your book again?
Triception.
Okay. Just a little plug. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go back.
Triception.
Okay.
So, you say, oh, I don't have enough time to pray and meditate.
What? You got the time
now. Hey.
Hello.
You got the time.
What's your excuse now, sis?
What is your excuse?
What's your excuse now, bruh?
I miss spending time at home with my children. I got to go out here, get up before they even get up. Because I have to go be at work at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Now you got your time.
Now you have all this time. And speaking of which is going to lead us to the next thing. So we discussed a lot of times when things happen, we hit rock bottom, and we just said it's not really rock bottom. And so after you hit rock bottom, you have to start listening / changing some habits.
Yes.
And so you said something that was very important about listening. Like what other ways do you think that people miss when things are being dropped in their spirit, or even like little commercial breaks or anything that's going to trigger something within them to move? What ways do you think people should listen?
trust what they hear.
Okay.
Trust your feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people are not able to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as long as I've been in this spiritual journey that I've been on, and I feel like I really have an intuitive spirit, sometimes I second guess what I hear. So you have to, it's a feeling. It's a feeling that's inside that you know.
Absolutely.
That's what you want to do, and that's what you're supposed to do. And you have to step out on faith. And things have a tendency to fall in alignment when you do that.
When you really listening,
when you're really listening and walking,
doors are
right,
opening.
Things are will fall in alignment for you.
I
and
agree.
It's a peace that comes over you.
I know all about that. And you know what's interesting? What you said, you were saying just being able to kind of listen and the feeling that you get within your body. When you're feeling uncomfortable, you have to recognize what makes you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Because if you're doing something that makes you feel uncomfortable, then that's not what you need to be doing.
Right.
And you said when you feel that peace,
yes,
is when you really know. I've talked to so many people about how their job was very overwhelming for them. Their job was stressing them out, and they were getting to a point where as soon as they step into their job, they were catching a headache. That's a sign. Hello. Listen to your body, listen to your feelings, listen to your spirit, and kind of be able to discern what makes you happy and what doesn't. Knowing that when you play that piano, you can play for hours at a time. That feeling you get, and so even if you don't want to do it full time, start part-time.
Yeah.
Like send it to somebody, just because that would feed your soul. And I think a lot of times we don't have enough balance in our lives to be able to say, okay, this feels good and I want to do it. We don't do it because society has told us, well, no, you can't do that full time.
And don't wait for anyone else's approval.
Wait a minute.
Don't.
Because that'll never happen, because no one's going to give you that the way you can get. I don't care who it is. I'm just blessed to have people really. But I pray for people in my life to be supported. I think I told you that a few years ago. Hey, and I was like, listen, and doors open, and I actually have a support team. But some people don't have that, and at the end of the day, you really don't need that. Long as you're listening to what feels good within, long as you are checking in with yourself on a daily basis. So if you're not in the habit of doing that, to make sure that you're stepping into the new, that you're starting a new beginning, that you are walking in alignment of what you're supposed to be doing, you need to pause. So what are you doing? So whatever you're doing and you're feeling like crap right now, whatever you are doing at this point in time, stop it. Stop whatever you are doing and kind of add little things in and see how it feels and how you feel at the end of the day. And so let's say without a shadow of a doubt you enjoy listening to Aretha Franklin. Respect, honey, you better play that every morning. And I guarantee if you don't do anything else, do something that you really enjoy every single day, and then add something new, and then see how you feel at the end of the day, and then you add something new, and maybe look up on the internet and say, well, what are people doing to change their habits, and what are making other people feel good? Implement that for a couple days, and if it's not just that won't it. Okay, it's not it. Okay, for me, it's walking around spraying Florida water and some Palo Santo in my house and praying and saying some good stuff and speaking. I am love. I am light. I am the epitome of the essence of the Lord of God, honey. That's what makes me feel good, and so that's what I do. And I do that almost every single day, taking the time in the mirror and saying, okay, what we going to do today? Like, how you feeling today? And that may not be your thing, but that's my thing. That's my thing, sitting in meditation. So you got to change habits. And when I started changing habits, I seen the difference in my outlook. I seen the difference in how I communicate. I seen the difference in myself. I seen the difference in my mood. I seen a difference. If you are not seeing positive differences in your life, then that needs to change. I stopped talking to people as much as I talk to them. Like, if certain people are making me feel a particular kind of way when I talk to them, then I don't talk to them often. If I see myself gossiping too much, I could be using that time to build something, to build myself up. I mean, now don't get it twisted. When somebody tell me something and it's funny, I laugh. I mean, I'm not a cardboard box and I'm not a robot, okay? No, she's not a robot, okay? But I am very cognitive about how I feel after I get off a conversation and if it's taking too much of my energy or if I'm drained. Yeah. I say that often on here on the podcast because as a reminder, for one, and number two, it works. Yeah. It works. And like me and you have said before, when me and you get on the phone, what happens? Pause. We're gonna talk about that on the commercial break. Y'all, time be flying by. I'm sorry, we gotta take this commercial break. I love y'all. 72.9 The Voice. Missy Buchanan's in the building. Ask Marie. We coming right back at you. Peace.
Brand new clothes, maybe a brand new car. Not enough, it don't go that far. You tell me I should focus on our time. I know your body, but I wanna know your mind. I'm here to tell you, this here is special. Babe, don't stress over nothing. We on a whole nother way. You know there's things that money can't buy. Babe, we can give back the rings, but can't give the time. You know I can turn you on. Girl, you best believe I can shoot my shot. Girl, you know I aim to please. But what good is the pleasure, girl, without security? Don't tell me what you want, just tell me what you need. Don't tell me what you want, no. Just tell me what you need. Don't tell me what you want. Just tell me what you need. Quality over quantity. Baby, you know your worth. You don't need no receipts. I could buy you everything that Chanel gon' catch your eye. But I know love is blind. I'm here to tell you, this here is special. Babe, don't stress over nothing. We on a whole nother way. You know those things money can't buy. Babe, we can get back the rings, can't get the time. You know I can turn you on. Girl, you best believe. Yeah, I can shoot my shot. Girl, I aim to play. But what good is the pleasure, girl, without security? Don't tell me what you want, just tell me what you need, baby. Just tell me what you want. Just tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. Baby, please. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you're missing. And I do my best to fix it. I give my undivided attention to make you feel good. Feel good. Feel good. Oh, I feel good. Tell me, lady, whatever you want right now. You know I get anything that you need. Baby, you know. Tell me what you need. Just tell me what you need.
Welcome back. This is Ask Marie with Missy in the building, and we are talking about today basically about stepping into a new beginning again and basically aligning with who you're supposed to be and aligning with the spirit of newness, the spirit of, freshness, and just allowing all of that to kind of penetrate within your spirit and just step into your greatness. Anyway, we were talking about before the commercial break. I mean, you talk on what we talk about on the phone and without, we were talking about changing conversations and making sure you're having healthy conversations, right, and making sure it's about changing habits so you can really step into who you're supposed to be. And we were talking about when you get on the phone.
Girl, our conversations, we either healing each other, building a business.
Okay.
I mean, it's crazy. 1 minute we could be on the phone talking about this. Next thing you know, I got my laptop out and I'm
researching something.
It's crazy. We have some very meaty telephone conversations.
Yeah. Listen, at this stage of the game, me and her both are like, if it's not about uplifting, shifting our lives, making money, you know what I'm saying, then what are we talking about right here? If we're not trying to, if you're not trying to spiritually grow, if you're not trying to elevate yourself, and if you're not having those type of conversations, like, what are we doing? You know, and don't get it twisted. We go out, we go to the movies, we're drinking wine now, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to have a fulfilled life in all areas. And if you're not depositing, wait a minute, if you're not depositing into all of this Shanika Marie-ness, what are you doing? If you're not giving me, you know, if you're not making me feel, you know, fulfilled and feel a sense of peace with you, then I mean, and I'm not saying everything is always going to be a bed of roses, because you're going to have times where I'm like, okay, sis, what you mean? Then you're like, oh, okay, you right. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's about transitioning when you really have people where you can trust their opinions and trust the fact that they are, you know, your people, then you can kind of trust in what they say. And that's, again, about changing habits. And when you change habits, you need to be looking at your surroundings. And when you're looking at your surroundings, you need to be saying, are these situations or these people fulfilling me? Are they making me feel okay about myself? And of course, nobody can make you feel anyway. But what is their energy like? Because you don't always want to have to be feel like you have to be covered and protect the Lord. Please, that's not anything they say, Jesus. Let me not cuss them out, Lord. I mean, you don't want to be that way, you know, on a regular basis with your people. Right. So what other habits do you think people should change?
Well, how they think.
Okay.
Definitely how you think. Because we can be so accustomed to thinking a particular way, and that way no longer serves you. So, you know, be very mindful of how you think. Don't be so close-minded. So close-minded. Because when you're that close-minded, you can really miss out on some blessings. You can miss out on some opportunities.
Absolutely.
Miss out on people, relationships, friendships, you know, a new recipe. I mean, something as simple as that.
Okay, so speaking of which, I'm sorry. I made some almond cheese, vegan almond cheese. Thank you. It's absolutely delicious. Thanks for listening. Thanks.
Ooh, you still have some?
No, I just used last week, like yesterday. Remember I told you on the phone I made it? Girl, it was so good. I've given away a whole lot, though.
You didn't know I was coming?
What happened was, what happened? I'm sorry. I gave you other stuff, though.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
I'm leaving with a lot. I'm leaving with a lot.
Okay.
I can't complain.
No, it's all good, though. I'm going to make you some next time, though, because it's absolutely delicious. You will love me for it. You be like, girl, listen, I will smack your mama. Like,
give me the recipe, too.
Yes, it's really good. Okay, so speaking of which, so since we're talking about starting new, listen, look this up. Some almond, I mean, it tastes, from my understanding, when I let one of my people taste it, he was like, it tastes like Swiss cheese. And so basically you're using so we stepping new, so this means health to y'all. We beginning fresh, definitely healthy, right,
since we're stuck in the house.
Yes. So listen, so we're like, listen, like, it's some good stuff. It's almonds, I put almonds, olive oil or grapeseed oil, lemon juice, nutritional yeast. I put garlic in mine and a pinch of salt, sea salt, hunty. Wow. It makes your whole life, and you blend it up together into the consistency. Oh, instead of using water, you use water too. But I use, I'm gonna tell y'all my secret. Look, don't be trying to let me put it in your cookbook. Listen, instead of using wood, I use vegetable broth.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
And it digests.
How about that?
It agrees with the body.
How about that? And almonds is full of protein. I put it on like the crackers. I put it on my burger. I put it in salad. I put it on like cucumbers. I mean, because it's nice. You can also bake it and make it into a thicker consistency where you can cut.
Oh,
but I
okay.
leave mine creamy.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely divine.
Yummy.
Yeah, absolutely divine. So when we're talking about different habits, you were saying, you know, just everything. And I know recently you've been walking to. Well, no, not recently. That's just your thing.
More consistently,
Yes.
like either going to the track, exercising at home. Because you know, I go to the track some days. Some days I just have to get out of the house. And the track is by my house, and a lot of times it's really not a lot of people out there. And when there is, you know, we space ourselves. Or either I'll just like exercise at home.
Okay, but I remember you telling me that because you changed that habit, because you were starting anew.
Yeah.
With your fitness journey.
Yeah.
I remember the fitness turned into a more of a loving you spiritual type of situation that really changed how you see yourself.
Right, and just being out in nature, and I get a lot of downloads when I'm outside.
Right.
You know. Even when sometimes I'll just go and do a video when I'm outside, and I notice the videos that I do in the house versus when I'm outside are different.
It's a different energy.
Right. So nature is my thing. Like, that's my place.
Yeah, me too. My rock. I have a rock. It's my rock, okay? that I go and I meditate on and I pray, and it just feels great. It just feels great. So with that being said, I also think when you talk about changing habits, or we talked about eating healthier, we talked about exercising, we're talking about watching your environment. I mean, and also I think we talked about listening.
Yes.
And so even with habit changing, we don't want to overwhelm you either. So I'm not telling you guys to go out and do all these things at one time. Like I said before about, you know, adding little things in every day. Remember when I was talking about Aretha Franklin? It's kind of like the same thing. And when you start changing habits, I think we get gung-ho. I remember every time I started, I have at least 4 or 5 times I've started exercise routines, and I be in it. I'm doing something, I'm exercising like twice a day, 4 times a week. Yeah. And I know 3 of them times out of 4, I've hurt my ankle because I'm just going too hard and I'm just doing too much. And then it almost backfired because I'm down for another 3 weeks. So I had lost that 4 or 5 pounds, and now I put like 2 of them back because I'm sitting still. Yeah. You know, and I know, you know, eating is majority, but for me, it's something about the energy shift of us walking outside. It helps me feel lighter, and it helps me, you know, release certain things within my energetic field that helps me to lose weight. Right. You know, because I'm shifting things within me as well. But what I'm saying is that don't overdo what you do. Don't overdo what you do. I think as far as also with habit changing, I think even finding something like goal planning, like if you haven't had any goals before, like writing them down, maybe start writing some things down and kind of review and see where you are and basically where you want to be and how far have you you know if you keep writing it down, you can say, well, what did I say 3 weeks ago? What have I done? And if you haven't done nothing, start doing something, you know, even with that being said.
And don't be afraid of your goals.
Okay, wait a minute now. Okay.
Don't be afraid of them.
I just think you need to break them down.
Break them, unpack those goals into smaller goals and accomplish that smaller goal. So, for example, if your goal is to lose weight, and you say you want to lose 30 pounds, break that 30 pounds down into a smaller goal. Right. So you won't overwhelm yourself.
Okay, now.
You can start with just drinking water instead of soda. Okay. Or if you put sugar in your food, go one time and don't put sugar in a particular food. You know, whatever.
Or do honey.
Something to make that goal achievable and to accomplish it. Yes.
I agree. I think we get so overwhelmed with trying to change so much that we get caught up in the negatives, like, oh my God, I gotta do this, you know. And I know, because I do that myself, like I have to really kind of step back and say, okay, what can I actually do right now?
And be excited about it.
Wait a minute.
But take it one step at a time.
Okay. And even with that being said, one of the most important things we can do when we're talking about stepping into the new and realigning ourselves is releasing judgment. Releasing judgment. Because I know I heard a lot of people, and as a therapist, when I see people, they always, not always, but about 70% of the people think they need to be at a further place than what they are.
Yeah.
And they always
used to be like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they always kind of talk about, their past. And I think the past has definitely made us who we are, but we have to learn how to release the past.
Yes.
So number one, we have to release the judgment of us not being where we want to be. And then we have to release the ideation that I am not Bill Gates. I mean, because Bill Gates is Bill Gates. You are Misty. I'm Shanika. Like, we are our own individual people, and the things that we have went through allow us to be where we are now. So we are exactly, and I know that's so cliche, but listen, if you really understand and sit in that and understand that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, like who can make you feel bad about that?
Right.
Yes, somebody sold $3,000 from you. Okay, so they sold that money. And so because of that, what happened? But you're still here.
Right.
You're still here. And certain things you had to change, but it taught you how to do what?
Do it differently.
Right. It taught you something. And even though that was messed up, and it taught you not to trust that person.
Right.
Number one. And so I'm sure, what's the sad part? When stuff like that happened, there have been signs that this person wasn't the most beneficial for you, that this person didn't have your best interest at heart, that this person was not the person that you thought they were. It was always signs. Yeah. And then it's not until this big gigantic thing where they just take your $2,000-$3,000 glory holy that they took this money from you, that you would be like, you know what, forget that. I can't believe. No, you can believe. If you sit back, you really can't believe. So that goes back to number one, listening, and what makes you feel uncomfortable. But what happens is because we are not used to treating ourselves to the best.
Yes.
We don't accept the best, and we accept mediocre behavior from other people because we've been giving ourselves mediocre behavior for so long.
Right.
So with that being said, it's about that time for commercial break. 72.9 The Voice. Missy Buchanan and Shanika Marie on Ask Marie is in the building. We'll be right back. We love you.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back. 72.9 The Voice. Misty
Buchanan
is in the building with Shanique Marie with Ask Marie. So we were basically talking about allowing ourselves to be treated a particular kind of way. So with that being said, we're going to segue into knowing that the power is in you, to knowing and understanding that you
yes
are the person that makes things start anew. You are the person that can get you into a alignment to being where you're supposed to be. Period.
Yeah.
Yes. But I know sometimes that we don't see particular thing until it's over, and that's okay too. I've been in plenty of situations where I have found that I didn't know the lesson until the situation was completely, I'm talking about completely, I mean dead. And I'm a whole Cancer. I don't know if you guys know about astrology, horoscopes. If you do, some people do, some people don't. But sometimes we can cling to things because we love the love. We love you too. Our bones is dry and brittle and break off. But with that being said, you just have to know when to kind of pull back. You have to know when you have exhausted all of your possibilities. And if you're trying to open a business, I'm not saying, look, I'm saying that give it your best and know the underlying reason why you were trying to do this thing in the first place.
Right.
And that's what's going to motivate you and keep you in a place that you're pushing and pushing and pushing, because nobody knows your dream but you.
Right.
Like, really, really, really feel it. I mean, and you have people that can see your vision and they support you. But you are their motivating force. You are the person. When you're excited about it, they're excited about it.
That is right.
But if you're not excited about it, well, you know, I was thinking about opening back up Grandpa's house. And, I mean, you saying that, who gonna get excited over that? Who gonna get excited over that? Listen, sir, Mrs. King and Queen, you have to be excited about starting fresh.
Right.
And if you really want things to kind of manifest where you want them to be, you got to be excited about it. You got to know that things are going to go the way that you need them to go, because you are the person that actually does this. You are the person. You. The power is in you.
Right.
When you speak things into existence. So you got to be careful about what you say and how you say it.
Yes.
You got to be careful about who you say what to.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sure you have instances where you have been very careful with your words.
Oh, yes.
And
I'm very careful with my words.
Yeah. She said that's an understatement. Who is me? Me? Of course I am, okay? But, so give me an instance where you thought it would be beneficial to keep something to yourself. Because we know that the power is in you. And we know that when we're starting something new, I know when I was starting myself, I think I told a couple of people, I know you were one of them, but I treated it like a baby.
Yeah.
Like in your first trimester. You know, a lot of people don't tell people they're pregnant in their first trimester.
Right.
Because that's such a fragile stage, honey. It haven't really got their root in the ground, honey. You don't be like, I ain't wishing back on my baby.
Right.
And people say, oh, that's a whole old superstition. No. Because when you are presenting something and you are trying to do something that's great for you and you're setting the foundation, one person can give you a look like, that's what you're doing in your whole world. But like, well, what do you mean?
Right.
You don't think I should do that? Well, what you think I should be doing? Hold up. So you're giving your power away. Now, for me, I already have things set in stone, but I might bounce something off like, hey, well, what do you think about this? Because I've already had my conclusion of what I want.
Right.
And if it all depends on who I'm talking to, this person is like, if I ask you something, Misty, I'm like, okay, well, what do you think? And you're gonna have a solid reason. You're just not gonna say, nah, sis, that ain't it. You're gonna be like, well, have you thought about so and so? You're just not gonna say no. And most people, they don't even have your best interest at heart. They're gonna give you some whack excuse like, well, you know, it's April,
right? And
I think you might be due in December, because you know what? Like, wait a minute, that's Christmas, and everybody gonna be spending that money on. Like, what are we talking about? So you have to have your own discernment.
Well, pretty much everything I do, I keep it to myself until it's time to reveal it. And that's just me.
Until it's time to push it out. Like,
to push it out. That's just me.
Yes, that is you.
So, you know, I remember my mom used to say, you're so impulsive, like when I was in my 20s and late teens, early 20s. She used to say, you are so impulsive. But what she didn't realize is what I had decided to share with her, I already had been going over it in my head and, you know, planning it out and everything. Because I remember the first time I moved to Atlanta, because I've lived there several times.
Yeah.
So the first time I moved to Atlanta, I went to her and I was like, I'm moving to Atlanta. And she was like, what? But what she didn't realize, I had already prayed about it. I had already, you know,
start stacking
talked
money.
to my spiritual counsel about it. Because my hairstylist at the time, she was a minister. And no, she wasn't even a minister at the time. She was just very, very godly.
Intuitive. Yeah,
very intuitive. And we had talked about it, and, you know, I knew that that's what I was supposed to be doing. And that was what I was supposed to be doing. But my mom saw it as being impulsive. So I kind of keep things to myself until I'm ready to reveal it to others. Just because that's just me. You know my personality.
Yes.
That's just how I am. Like, with my haircut, you didn't even know
until she walked in. I
that
was
I
like,
had
okay.
my haircut.
It gave me all this life, though. I was like, okay, well, come on in then. Hello, are you hi? It looks so dope.
So
it's
you know, that's
it's
just me.
you.
You know, I just keep things to myself.
And look, y'all, we talk almost every day. I think have I talked to you since then?
I think so.
See,
but to me, it just wasn't a big deal. Like,
but y'all, it is so a big deal because it's so dope.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Starting afresh.
But you know what?
Starting anew.
Starting afresh.
Okay.
When I was driving here, I was like, okay, you know, I cut my hair because, you know, I had locks in my hair and I undid the locks. So, you know, when your hair is locked, it it gets brittle because when you wash it and condition, you can't really moisturize it in the way it would if it wasn't locked. So I took the locks out and to me it was just damaged. And my daughter, she's very good with taking care of her hair. I commend her, you know, being a teenager, like she does her hair really well. And she was like, it's not damaged. You just need to moisturize and to take care of it. I was like, nope. Once when it comes to my hair, once I get it in my head and I'm gonna cut it, it's cut.
It's over. It's over.
It's over.
It's done.
It's a done. You know, I couldn't get to the barbershop because, you know, I had my side shave and I was like, okay. I just need... it's like every time there's a shift in my life, this is the first thing I mess with my hair.
Okay. So, well, at least you know that. Yeah. At least you know that. And so that means that you are starting anew. So you say you excited about your new business.
I'm excited about my new business, health and wellness.
Okay.
TLC Products is what it is, which is Total Life Changes, just to make it quick. I was taking the products for years off and on. I just recently started taking the products again, NutriBurst and the CBD tea and all that stuff.
Right.
So I was like, okay, why should I keep being a customer when I can get in on this awesome company? You know, the company is phenomenal. If it follows the same core values that I have, you know, with people and health and wellness. So that's what I did, and I'm excited. And I know.
And so, where can they contact you at though?
They can contact me via Facebook and Instagram. On Instagram, I am Divinely Misty, which is God covering.
Okay now.
And on Facebook as well, on Facebook it's Misty Buchanan. But if you have an Instagram account, Divinely Misty, on Facebook, Misty Buchanan, and just reach out to me and I can get you set up. I've lost inches in my belly already. Within a week, I've lost like 5 pounds.
Okay, she said 5 pounds, y'all.
5 or 6 days. So.
And yes, and I've just ordered me some resolution drops, so I will keep you guys updated. We're going to talk about that in about 3 weeks, and we're going to see what we're going to do with that. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to have to be wrapping up some of my poem before we leave, and we're going to have a quick discussion on it. I remember wanting you so bad I could not see. I thought I found something so special and unique. It was like a dream. It was like I was walking in a fog because everything paled to you. Other times the light would shine so bright the sun seemed more special because of the love I had found with you. You had awakened a passion I had never known I could have. I asked God to take away the taste of you from my lips when I realized that I could not have you. It was like mourning something that was not quite mine. When I look back, I feel stupid because I was completely vulnerable with you when you didn't care because you didn't want me. Okay, y'all, so listen. I picked this one because you have to start anew. And if things are not exactly the way you think they should be, it's okay and it doesn't matter because what is meant for you will be yours. Yes. So whether if it's that boo, that beautiful king, that beautiful queen, yes, or even that spectacular job that make that bank or that house that you didn't get. You know, the house didn't want you, but you wanted it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can remember sometime in your life when things did not just go right, where you didn't get what you thought you deserved. That was meant for you. That's okay, because what is meant for you is meant for you, and that's the time for you to start anew, till you begin fresh, to you to concentrate on what you love. Yeah. And that first thing that you love is yourself. And when you truly sit and love yourself, when you truly sit and understand what you want, when you truly sit and understand what makes you feel good, that's when you can go toward that particular thing, guys. That's when you can walk in your truth. Yep. Listen, on this day, we're going to close out. This is
Misty Buchanan.
And this is Shanique Marie with Ask Marie. You guys stay safe, wash your hands, love on your loved ones, start your businesses, because this is the time, this is perfect for us to start a new one, whatever we want to do, wherever we want to go, and whoever we want to be. Yes. This is your girl, Shanique Marie, with Missy Buchanan, the Chronicle the Chocolate Syrup with Axe Marie. We love you. We love you. Stay safe. Peace.